Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Game News Roundup. If anyone was wondering, what's taking me so long to make a new video, especially with all the gaming showcases going on the last, week or so at this point? Well, that's the main reason I haven't posted any videos. I've been so busy writing articles on all of the games showcased, announced, trailers, industry information that's come out over the past week, and I did... If you do follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TrunksWD, I did live stream those showcases with my live reactions with a bunch of viewers hanging out. But we've got a couple of quick things to go over today, and we'll get back into the swing of things of going over more of the gaming industry news. And if you guys want me to do any overviews of the showcases, let me know in the comment section down below, whether it was Summer Game Fest, Xbox Game Showcase, and Starfield Direct, the Ubisoft Showcase, Capcom Showcase, and the other smaller showcases that have occurred recently. But today, AAA Games. The head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, in an interview with Axio, said the gaming industry and fans need to realize big budget games, AAA games, the biggest games that come out, no longer take 2 to 3 years to develop. And they now take 4 to 6 years. So the amount of time it takes to develop the biggest AAA games has doubled in the recent years of the last couple of generations. Booty said, I think that the industry and the fans we're a little behind the curve on sort of a reset to understand that games aren't 2 or 3 years anymore, specifically referring to big budget games. They are 4 and 5 and 6 years. He explained the reason for the longer development times on AAA games is due to the increased complexity and higher technical marks with 4K graphics and advanced lighting. There are higher expectations. The level of fidelity that we're able to deliver just goes up in the amount of time and manpower and the amount of money it costs to develop these biggest games out there. Just keep on going up and up. And now, at this point, the biggest games might even be more expensive than the biggest movies. Despite the fact that, obviously, they take more time. The amount of money they cost is a lot more than this. You see some of the biggest movies that come out at this point. Now, Booty does say some smaller games will still be made quickly. You know, smaller games from smaller developers. Basically, indie games probably won't be taking 4 to 6 years each. I mean, sure, maybe you'll see some, what almost feels like an expansion to a game that might take less than 4 to 6 years. You're basically using the exact same, a lot of the same assets and stuff. But then again, you look at Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which uses a lot of assets from Breath of the Wild. And yet, it still came out 6 years and a couple months after the launch of Breath of the Wild. So, we'll see how things turn out in the end. And speaking of AAA games and other games in general, Microsoft, again, Matt Booty has revealed, first-party Xbox developers are no longer developing games for the Xbox Ones outside of continued support of older games like Minecraft. So he basically just said, we've moved on to Gen 9, which is the Xbox Series X and S and PS5. So yeah, Xbox Series S games, they are playable on the Xbox One if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, and if you have fast enough internet to use Xbox Cloud Gaming, you do have access to the Series X and S versions of Xbox games. That's how we're going to maintain support, he said, on how Xbox One owners can play the latest games. Which I believe the last game they did release specifically for the Xbox One was earlier this year with Minecraft Legends, which I do believe also came to Switch and pretty much every major current platform out there. Although at this point it looks like PS4 and Xbox One, it's pretty much being left in the dust. And I do know Sony, I think their last major, at least first-party games, obviously third-party developers, I'm sure that we'll still see PS4 and Xbox One games for another year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. You always look at like the last game released on a specific console, like it was like 4 or 5 years after a console was discontinued, or after the next-gen version of next-gen console came out. And it was like, oh, of course it was a FIFA or a Madden or whatever. We'll see what happens with the Xbox One and PS4 with the last game released for them will end up being in the next probably 2 or 3 years. But we'll find out. And for Sony first-party wise, I'm pretty sure God of War Ragnarok was the last first-party game released for the PS4. Along, obviously, for the PS5. Because the Horizon Forbidden West, while it is a PS5 and a PS4 game, the expansion is PS5 only, not coming to the PS4. And from what I've seen, I can see why it didn't come to the PS4 with some of the content added in with that DLC/expansion, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that was a couple of quick things I want to go over. Again, both from Matt Booty, ahead of Xbox Game Studios. So yeah, no more Xbox One games from first-party Xbox Studios, other than continued support for games like Minecraft. Games that are already out for the Xbox One, you can say PS4 as well. And then obviously I'm pretty sure Sony has moved on as well because their next big AAA game from first-party studios from Sony is Marvel Spider-Man 2, which comes out in October? Or is it November? Hold on 1 minute. There's so many games coming out, I can't keep track of all of the games coming out. I'll let you know in just a moment when this loads up. So yeah, biggest games coming out. Obviously Spider-Man 2, yeah, October 20th, big first-party PlayStation exclusive coming out. Obviously, Xbox has Starfield on September 6th, I want to say. And then Forza Motorsport, also another big first-party title from Xbox, October 10th. Again, Series X and S PC. Game Pass, again, Starfield's the same. Spider-Man 2 is PS5 only, although I'm sure down the road we'll see it eventually coming to PC, which we've heard like probably 2 or 3 years before we see any, at least single-player first-party PlayStation games making their way to the PC. Obviously, games as a service, live service games might be day and date. I mean, possibly. We'll find out, I guess, with games like Marathon or The Last of Us Factions game. But yeah, just wanted to say hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Again, if you're wondering where I've been, I've just been busy with all of the gaming showcases of the last week. Summer Game Fest, I streamed, and I was reporting on the news live. It took me several hours, and there was a bunch of other showcases afterwards. You know. And then Sunday, the Xbox and Starfield Direct, and then PC Gaming Show after that. It was a lot to write up. A lot of games coming out. A lot of great games. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter where you game. You got amazing games coming out, whether it's from first-party Nintendo, first-party PlayStation, first-party Xbox at this point, with all the games showcased recently. Or obviously plenty of third-party games as well coming out. And obviously the next big game coming out in about a week at the time of this recording is Final Fantasy 16, which, warning, I did see that some copies have already made it to retails early. So it's possible there's some copies out in the wild, so some spoilers might be coming out. So keep an eye out, or be wary, I should say, of avoiding spoilers if you don't want to be spoiled. So yeah, and also, again, if you want to check up on any of the big game showcase, announce, whatever, I got a couple of, from the two big showcases, a couple of articles of here's what went down the Summer Game Fest, with links to all of the articles I wrote up about the games showcased, and then same with Xbox and Starfield Direct here. As you can see, there was a lot of games showcased during both of those, showcases / Starfield Direct. But yeah, so yeah, again, if you want to keep up on any news stuff, VGChartz.com, or if there's anything you want me to specifically cover, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all much sooner for my next video. See you all next time.